Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial for you. This is going to be the very first fall makeup tutorial that I have for 2018. I'm very excited with how this look turned out. We're working with all mattes on the eyes and then a little bit of a glittery shimmery lip. So I am pretty obsessed and I'm really excited to be working with some fall trends, even though I don't really like follow makeup trends. It's just more of what I feel like I'm most comfortable with. But overall, smoky, bold lip, mattes, that's what I'm talking about whenever I say fall trends. So I hope that you enjoy this video and I will see you soon. Bye. All right, so the very first thing I'm going to be using for the face is the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. I talked about this in my last video. Honestly, I'm just trying to use it at this point. It turned out pretty okay using the Physicians Formula foundation. It did give a nice dewy luminous glow to my skin, but again, it's not anything that is crazy spectacular. I still love my Pixie Glow Mist. So I'm just trying to use this. So I'm gonna spritz my entire face. And then I'm going to let that dry. Oh, I just got a little bit of it in my mouth. And use my little fan. It actually dries pretty quickly. Again, I would probably say that if you are wanting to splurge on this product, I would use it more on those days where you're not doing your makeup and you're not covering it up, because it does leave that really nice finish on your actual skin. So just something to think about. Okay, and then today for the foundation, I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. As you can see, I have used quite a bit of it, if my camera will focus. So it's pretty far down there. I haven't used it in a while, so I figured, you know what, it looks to be my color right now, and I just want to start using up my products that I currently have. This one, it's not like my favorite that I've ever used before, but it's okay. Like, it gives kind of like a satin matte finish. It's not my favorite formula in the world, but it'll work. I'm just using my Makeup Geek stippling brush to initially apply this. It's a little more yellow than my skin. I tend to have a little bit more, not like a pink undertone, but kind of like a reddish or more neutral undertone. I'm curious to see how this foundation is going to work with that skin mist. I can't remember if I've ever used like an illuminating skin mist with this foundation before. I feel like I've probably used more like matte or pore filling primers with this foundation. We'll see how it looks throughout the tutorial. So for those of y'all who don't know, I live in Florida on the coast of Central Florida. Whoa, I look really weird in the viewfinder. And it is still pretty hot outside, but the mornings, it's beautiful. Like, it is so nice, and you can kind of feel the air getting a little bit more crisp as we're going into the fall months. It just feels really, really nice outside in the morning. But then, of course, the day starts to roll around, and then we are back to really, really hot weather. So that's something that my husband and I have talked about whenever we're both done with school, is do we want to try living somewhere for a little bit where it has more seasons, because his family lives in Georgia. So we've talked about either maybe going back to Georgia for a couple of years, or potentially even going to one of the Carolinas. I've always wanted to visit Charlotte. I don't know, I've just heard really amazing things about Charlotte, and it looks like a place that I would really love. So it might be something that we try out. And I just love the Carolinas, so I could definitely see us there for a little bit. So I just used my Flower Beauty concealer And I am going to press this in underneath the eyes and then on top of the eyelids as well to conceal. Nothing new here. This is my typical routine. And then I'm also going to take the damp beauty sponge and just go over the rest of the foundation to pick up any extra product that was left over by the brush, and also to kind of move that into the skin a little bit deeper so that we're not left with any brush strokes. That's the one thing that's frustrating about using a foundation brush, is that I feel like it just doesn't give as nice of a finish because it leaves those brush strokes. Okay, so now to set the face, I'm going in with my Be a Light Becca face palette. And let's see what powder I need to use. All right, I'm going to be using this one right here. This is the blurring powder. I'm just going to take a powder brush like this one and dip into that and then start lightly kind of pouncing that onto the face. And this is supposed to help to blur out pores and imperfections while still leaving a little bit of kind of that luminous glow. I don't want us looking, well, me, not us. I don't want me looking super luminous today. Just a little slight glow, just so the skin doesn't look like a chalkboard. Nothing crazy though. All right, so I have noticed that this foundation is breaking up on me just a touch, specifically around the forehead area. So I'm not sure if it's because of that powder. Like sometimes foundations and powders don't love each other, and that's okay. So hopefully the setting spray that I'm going to use is going to help combat that and get it back to the way it was looking before. So now I'm just going to apply some of the Ofra Cosmetics translucent powder onto my under eye area. I'm gonna kind of like create a little baking situation under there, so we don't have any fallout with the eyeshadow land onto our face. All right, and now we look really weird. Okay, so for today we're going to be using the e.l.f. Matte for Matte eyeshadow palette in the shade Jewel Pop. So this is what the whole palette looks like, and I'm really excited because today I'm going to be doing an all matte look, which I don't do a ton of. So the very first shadow I'm going in with is this one right here. It's kind of like a caramel mustard, and I'm going to take that on a Morphe blending brush and just pop this into that crease and kind of work it a little bit upwards. So I'm going to pop it right over here and then slowly start to kind of work my way up. And I am going to be taking my shadows from inner corner to outer corner, starting us off. Oh my gosh. Oh, that powder is like really messing with my nose right now. So I'm really, really, really excited because October 6th, me and my husband are going to Disney with my sister and my brother, and we've never done like a sibling trip like this before, and my brother and sister love my husband, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. So we're going to Magic Kingdom, which is like Disney World, and then so we're going to be doing the like sibling trip at Magic Kingdom, and then after the next day, me and my husband are going to Animal Kingdom, which I'm so excited about because he has been asking for us to go there forever. He's never been before, and having grown up in Central Florida, like I've gone multiple times, and they just opened up Pandora, so I am so excited. It's gonna be beautiful. Several of my friends have actually gone since they've opened up Pandora, and they have said it is literally the most magical land that they've ever seen. So I'm pretty excited about that. All right, so next up, I'm going to take this shade right here. It is kind of like a mix between a gray and a brown. And I'm going to take that on this brush right here. This is the Morphe M332. So it's kind of like a bullet crease. It's a pretty dense brush, and I'm going to use this to pack it on that outer corner and then slowly bring it in towards the V, or not towards the V, towards my crease. So I'm literally just going to pack this color on right here. Do y'all see like how amazing these pigment payoffs are right now? Like, I am so shocked by this palette every single time that I use it. Like, it really is just so nice. So I'm not gonna be sweeping this too far into the crease. I really just wanna keep it on that outer corner right here. And this is kind of like that messy part of the smoky eye that always gets everyone nervous, because it kind of looks like it's not going to end up coming together, but I promise it will. But I'm literally just kind of pushing this in to that outer crease area right here, but not bringing it too far up, just keeping it nice and low and then packing it on. But yeah, this palette is $10, right? Yes. I want to say it's $10. If not, at most, it's like 12 or something like that. All right, now I'm gonna go back in with that original brush in that original caramel shade, and I'm going to lightly dust this just in that outer corner, just right here. Kind of merging those two shades together. All right, now to add a little bit more color to the look, I'm going to take this shade right here. It's kind of a really pretty plum with a little bit of a brown undertone to it. And I just need to get the right brush for it. So I'm going to be taking my Sigma E45. So this is like a really nice tapered blending brush, but it's a little small. So I'm going to take that on that brush, and then I'm just going to lightly put that all the way in that outer corner. Just to add kind of a little bit of like a cherry cola look to it, since I want to go in with a purple shade later. So I'm just adding a little bit of depth right here. There was a part in my last tutorial that I filmed and I was so frustrated, where I was using, oh gosh, it was the ColourPop Super Shock eyeshadow, and it was a really shimmery one. It was my rose gold one, and it was just not in focus at all. And I was so frustrated because that was like the highlight of the eye look, and it just wasn't there. So now I'm going to use a clean blending brush. This is the Morphe E23 right here, and I'm going to take a little bit of that camel shade, and I'm just going to kind of lightly start on both inner corners before moving outward. So just lightly kind of dusting in here. And it's okay if you get a little bit sloppy, because we're going to go in with the like vanilla shade in this palette, and we're going to clean that up afterwards. And then I'm just going to kind of do this little maneuver to where I'm creating circular motions and just kind of merging all of this outer corner together. All right, so now for the exciting part, I'm going to be taking this purple shade right here on a flat brush, and I'm going to be applying that to the inner corner, just the inner corner, and then kind of slightly bringing it out. So here we go. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh my gosh. And it looks like we're gonna have to build this color up just a little bit, which is okay. This also isn't like the best brush in the world, which I also talked about in my last video, that I really need some better brushes in my collection. So I'll probably be asking for that for my birthday and Christmas coming up. See how I'm literally just carving out that inner corner, and then I'm stopping right here at the center of the eyeball. It's powder so that my eyeshadow doesn't fall down. Say hi, Sammy. Oh my gosh. Oh, you smell the powder. Hi. Say hi, baby. Oh. Hi, Chalupa. What are you doing? I pick you up, but you're way too big. Another thing that I just realized that I could have done, but it's okay, is to begin by carving out that inner corner with some concealer and then going in with that eyeshadow. So the next time that I do a matte look like this, I will probably end up using that method. But right now I am just adding more pigment until I get to my liking. Okay, so now the last part is to take this shadow right here, and I am going to use this to highlight my brow bone, and this is really going to help clean up any of the eyeshadows that got too high up. So I'm going to really take my time and make sure that I'm getting all of that eyeshadow that got too far up, and this is really going to be useful in cleaning up any makeup look where you're working with purples, browns, anything that can make you look like you have a black eye. I always recommend cleaning it up either with concealer or some sort of like highlighting eyeshadow, if that makes sense. I am also going to use this to kind of carve out this area right here, kind of getting rid of some of that purple that fell like a little too much into that crease, because we are veiny right here in that inner corner, or at least I am, and so we want to make sure that that area looks clean and it's not really sloppy. So now I'm just going to take my e.l.f. highlighting brush and dust away this powder. If you can hear a weird noise, my little baby Sammy has really, really bad skin allergies. And we've been trying to figure out what he's allergic to right now. And he is just so itchy. I feel really, really bad for him. But that's kind of what's going on right now. He's just sitting underneath of me, scratching himself. All right, so to complete the eyes for now, I'm going to be taking the Marc Jacobs Eye Liner. This one is, I think it's just black. It doesn't have a name, but it literally is just jet black. So I'm going to take that and use it to line my lower waterline. This part is always super weird. All right, so I'm going to take this plum color right here and pop that onto a definer brush. This one is by Morphe, and I'm going to put that really tight up against my lower lash line and try not to get it into my eyeball. He is so cute. He like looks up at me and he has that little underbite, so it's like hard not to be in love with him all over again. All right, so as you can see, I brought that all the way into my inner corner, and then now I'm going to take this gray brown shade right here and literally dab that onto a pencil brush and then drag that down a little bit, because I do want this to be pretty darn smoky down here. All right, and then I'm going to quickly fill in my brows and then we'll wrap up the face. Okay, so now that brows are done, I'm going to dig back into that BA Light palette and take this bronzer shade right here, and I'm going to be using my contour brush. This is the Morphe M530. I was thinking about doing a bronzer, but I was like, you know what? I feel like with this strong of a look, we kind of need a stronger cheekbone. So I'm just going to take this into the hollows of that cheek right there. And then I'm also going to use it and warm up the forehead, of course. This is like my favorite part, is really seeing my skin come to life after I've covered it all up. And I'm making sure not to bring my brush too far to my cheek, because I don't want to like taint the blush color that I'm going to be using. So I'm literally just keeping it about right here and then moving it backwards. Now for blush, I'm going to be using my e.l.f. Quad palette, and I'm going to be taking this shade right here. It's a really pretty kind of like mauve rose shade. I'm going to be using my blush brush from Morphe. These, I will say, are very, very pigmented blushes, so be careful. Yeah, very, very pigmented. I'm going to apply that directly to the apples and then slowly move it back towards that contour. So I am going to add a touch of the Josie Maran Argan Enlightenment Illuminizing Veil. So this little highlight right here, because I don't want it to be too striking since we're kind of going with more of a matte makeup look, but I do want to add a little bit of something right here just to kind of draw the eye to that cheekbone and make it look like it's more lifted. So see, it's not like a really crazy highlight, but it just adds a little something right there. And I'm not adding it to the apples of my cheeks, again, for the same exact reason, since it's more of like that matte look. This also kind of livens up the face. If you're going for a matte look, adding a very light natural highlight will just help to add a little bit more dimension and life to your face. All right, so now I'm going to be using the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. I will say this really does smell nice. So the last makeup tutorial I did that's up on my channel now. I used the Kat Von D Lock-It powder with my Healthy foundation, and then I used this setting spray, and my foundation did not crack on me at all. Like even in my smile lines and in my forehead, that's where I tend to get the creasing and the cracking throughout the day. And I literally wore it until 10:30 at night. So I wore it for a good 10 hours, and that combination did work really well. So I'm very happy with that. I'm not sure what was going on with the setting spray previously. I'm trying to remember what foundation I was using it with, but it just wasn't giving me the same results that a lot of people were saying it was giving them. So I like it so far. If I come across the combination, I will let you know the one that didn't work. But the other day, actually it was yesterday, it worked pretty darn well. So now I am going to finish off the eyes with my Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara, and then I'll be right back so we can finish off our lips. All right, so the last part are our lips. So I'm going to be using the Milani Lipstick, and this one is in the shade Plum Rose, number 17. So I'm going to apply this first, and I need like a little mirror so that I'm not totally blocking myself off from you guys. But I'm excited about this lip combination because I don't really do things like this here on my channel. So hopefully it works out the way that I'm hoping it will. Oh, such a pretty color. Okay, so this is what the look looks like with just the lipstick, but I am going to add a little something extra, and you can too if you are feeling festive. So this is the Vice Special Effects by Urban Decay. It is a lip gloss in the shade Bruja, and it's basically a top coat, so they're not really meant to be worn by themselves. Obviously, you can do whatever the heck you want to do, but this is meant to be more of a lipstick topper, so I'm going to apply that directly on. And it does have some glitter and shimmer in it, which I'm excited about. All right, so this is going to be the completed look with everything done. I really had so much fun creating my very first fall look for you guys. Please let me know if you enjoyed this video as well, and let me know if you have any requests for makeup tutorials that you would love to see, whether it be using a specific type of color, incorporating more glitter, using more matte, whatever you want. I'm very excited to start doing more tutorials, which is where my true passion lies. So if you enjoyed this video, I hope that you will give it a huge thumbs up, and I also hope that you will subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. For those of you who have already subscribed to my channel, thank you guys so much. It really does mean the world to me, and I hope that you have a very amazing start to your fall and holiday season. Bye!